Imagine this. You open Amazon, and right there next to the protein powder and the air fryers is a house. An actual house. $15,000. Free shipping. 4.5 stars. Thousands of reviews. You click it. Your heart starts racing. You do the math. You could pay this off faster than a car. No 30-year mortgage. No $400,000 price tag. Just a home. So you buy it. It arrives. You build it. And then the real bills start showing up. By the time it is all said and done, that $15,000 home costs closer to $50,000. And that is if everything goes right. Stay with me, because today I'm going to break down every hidden cost these Amazon listings quietly leave out. And by the end of this video, you will know the real number before you spend a single dollar. This is the video I wish existed before I went down this rabbit hole. Quick one. If this channel is new to you, hit subscribe right now. We do deep, honest research on tiny homes and affordable housing, so your money does not go down the drain. No fluff, no sponsor-driven opinions, just real numbers. Hit subscribe, and let's protect your wallet together. And one more thing, stick around to the very end of this video. I have a number for you. The real, total, all-in cost of a typical Amazon tiny home build, broken down category by category, using fresh 2026 data. You do not want to miss it. Let's start with why this is even a conversation. Because honestly, I get it. In the last quarter of 2025, the median U.S. home price hit $405,300. That is not a typo. $405,000. And rent? The average American renter is now paying over $1,840 a month. That is nearly $22,000 a year just to keep a roof over your head that you will never own. So when someone scrolls Amazon and sees a fully structured home for $15,000 or even $9,000, the brain does something very human. It says, finally, a way out. And look, these products are real. Companies like Allwood, out of Scandinavia, ship genuine Nordic spruce lumber kits right to your door. Some expandable modular units fold out from 20 to 40 feet. There are foldable container-style homes, cabin shell kits, pre-cut timber frame structures. You can actually buy these things. The listings are beautiful. The reviews are enthusiastic. The photos show cozy interiors with warm lighting and little potted plants on the windowsill. And the price looks like freedom. But here is the thing nobody puts in the product description. What you're buying is a kit, a shell. In many cases, literally just pre-cut lumber, hardware, and a roof. No foundation, no plumbing, no electricity, no insulation, no land, no permit, no appliances, no water, no septic. You're not buying a home. You are buying the starting line of a home. And every single one of those missing pieces costs money. Let's go through them one by one. Here is the first thing the Amazon listing cannot sell you: a place to put the house. If you already own land, lucky you. Skip ahead. But for most people watching this video, land is cost number one. Depending on where you want to live, raw land could run you anywhere from $5,000 in a very rural area to $30,000 or more in a desirable location. And that is just the purchase price. Then there is zoning. And this is where a lot of people's tiny home dreams quietly die. Zoning laws are not uniform. They vary by state, by county, by city, sometimes even by neighborhood. Some places have minimum square footage requirements of 400 to 1,000 square feet, which would actually disqualify a tiny home from being a legal residence. Some counties do not allow container or modular units at all. Some require that any permanent structure be connected to city water and sewer. And if you think you will just put it on a family member's land, that still may violate local zoning codes depending on how your county defines a secondary dwelling or accessory structure. One planning expert put it simply: a 2-hour trip to your local zoning office can save you months of regret later. Good news for 2026. Several states have now passed what are called STEP housing laws. That stands for small, transitional, efficient, permanent. Laws like Washington State's HB 2266 are designed to stop cities from using arbitrary design standards and minimum size requirements to block tiny homes entirely. If your state has joined the 2026 zoning reform wave, you may have more placement options than you would have had just a year ago. Check your state legislature's website for the latest. This is a real win for the tiny home community. But do that research before you click add to cart. Land purchase, $5,000 to $30,000 plus. Running total so far, $20,000 to $45,000 plus. Okay, you have your land. Now where does this structure actually sit? Unless your Amazon kit arrives on wheels. And some do. You need a foundation. And foundations are not cheap. A concrete slab, which is the most common and most permanent option, can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 depending on your soil type, location, and the size of the structure. A traditional foundation can add $5,000 to $8,000 to your total cost at minimum. Some foundation estimates run $6 to $50 per square foot. Then you need to prep the site. Excavation costs $1,000 to $2,500. Grading the land so water drains properly adds another $500 to $1,000. If you go with a tiny house on wheels, which gives you more flexibility and sometimes helps you avoid permit issues, quality trailers engineered for house weight start around $5,600 for tandem axle models. Gooseneck trailers start at over $10,000. None of that is in the Amazon listing. Foundation or trailer, $5,000 to $15,000. Site prep, $1,500 to $3,500. Running total, $26,500 to $63,500 plus. You can skip this step, and some people do, and then they get fined, or ordered to tear it down, or they cannot get insurance, or they try to sell it one day and discover it is legally uninhabitable. Building permits are not optional if you want to live in this thing legally. The national average for a building permit is around $1,647. Tiny house permits specifically run $500 to $3,000, depending on your location. Some jurisdictions require multiple inspections throughout the build process, each one costing time and money. And this is also where the construction quality of your Amazon kit comes into play. Not all kits are built to local residential code. Some will need modifications just to pass inspection. If the inspector finds issues, you pay for corrections. The expert advice is consistent. Always verify local building codes before you purchase a kit, not after. Permits and inspections, $500 to $3,000. Running total, $27,000 to $66,500 plus. This is the one that surprises people the most, because we're so used to utilities just being there. You move into an apartment, you call the electric company, done. With a tiny home on raw land, you are building the entire utility infrastructure from scratch. Electrical hookup, if you are connecting to the grid in a rural area, can exceed $5,000. In some remote locations, running power lines to your property can cost $10,000 to $30,000 or more depending on distance. Going off-grid with solar? A basic DIY solar kit runs $2,000 to $4,000. A full off-grid system with battery storage is $15,000 to $35,000 in 2026. That number has climbed with demand and installation labor costs. Plumbing, including pipes, fixtures, water heater, and connections, runs $1,000 to $7,000. A tankless water heater, which is ideal for tiny homes due to size, costs $600 to $2,600 for the unit alone, plus installation. Now here's the one that shocked me the most when I dug into 2026 data. Septic systems. In the original version of this breakdown, I had septic at $3,000 to $10,000. That number is out of date. In 2026, with labor shortages and tightened environmental drainage regulations hitting rural counties hard, a realistic septic installation for a budget lot now runs $8,000 to $12,000 on the low end. Some locations will push that higher depending on soil conditions and county requirements. The $3,500 septic system is essentially extinct. If you see that number anywhere online, it is old data. In a place like Tampa Bay, Florida, utility connection fees alone can run $5,000 to $20,000 depending on your specific location. That is not a national outlier. It is a national reality. And in some areas, you cannot go off-grid even if you want to. Local codes require city water and sewer connection as a condition of occupancy. Utilities, electrical, plumbing, water, septic, $8,000 to $40,000. Running total, $35,000 to $106,500 plus. Remember, many of these Amazon kits are a shell. Exterior walls, frame, roof. That is it. You still need insulation, $1,000 to $3,000 for foam, bats, and paneling. Flooring, typically $1,500 to $4,000 for a small space with decent materials. Kitchen and bathroom fixtures, $3,000 to $15,000, depending on how finished you want it. Windows and doors, $1,500 to $6,500. Finishing touches including paint, weatherproofing, trim, and lighting, $1,000 to $3,000. And then there is labor. The experts are consistent on this. Most buyers hire professionals for at least foundation prep, electrical, and plumbing, even if they do the cabin assembly themselves. If your time is worth $30 an hour professionally and a full DIY build takes 200 plus hours, the opportunity cost alone approaches $6,000. And if something goes wrong with your amateur electrical work on a $30,000 structure, that mistake has no warranty. Interior finishing, $8,000 to $31,500. Running total, $43,000 to $138,000 plus. This one is sneaky, because most people do not think about insurance until something goes wrong. Traditional mortgage lenders do not finance tiny homes. That matters because lenders typically require insurance before closing. And when lenders are not involved, some buyers skip it entirely. But tiny home insurance is its own complicated world. Some insurers refuse to cover tiny homes at all unless the structure has specific certifications, like NOAA, the National Organization of Alternative Housing, or RVA, the RV Industry Association standard. Others charge higher premiums because tiny homes do not fit neatly into traditional categories. Annual tiny home insurance for a stationary home on a foundation typically runs $700 to $1,500 per year in 2026. If your home is on wheels, you may need RV insurance instead of, or in addition to, homeowner's insurance. And if you built without permits, many insurers will refuse to cover you entirely, which means one bad storm, one fire, one accident, and you're on your own. First year insurance, $700 to $1,500. Running total, $43,700 to $139,500 plus. A few more costs that quietly add up. Delivery. Amazon says free shipping, but most kits arrive via freight carrier. You need to be present for delivery. And, depending on your location and access road quality, additional freight handling fees can apply. If your build site is not where you assembled the structure, moving a tiny home on wheels costs $1 to $5 per mile plus $500 to $2,000 in setup fees at the destination. Assembly. The kits that look simple in the product video, those are marketing videos. A shell kit realistically requires 100 to 300 plus hours of skilled labor. If you hire professionals for any portion of it, and most buyers do for at least electrical and plumbing, labor adds up fast. Plumbers alone charge $45 to $150 per hour. Landscaping and exterior finishing, decks, steps, skirting, gravel driveway, drainage. Budget $1,000 to $5,000. Delivery, assembly extras, landscaping, $2,000 to $8,000. Running total, $45,700 to $147,500 plus. Okay, you stayed. I promised you the real number. Here it is. Let's take a realistic scenario. You find a solid Amazon tiny home kit for $15,000. You already own land or are using family property. You're going to DIY as much as possible. Here is what the honest total looks like at the low end of all the 2026 estimates. The Amazon kit price, $15,000. Foundation or trailer, $7,000. Site prep and excavation, $2,000. Building permit, $1,500. Electrical hookup or entry-level solar, $3,000. Plumbing and water heater, $2,500. Septic system, 2026 realistic budget, $9,000. Insulation, $1,500. Interior finishing, kitchen, and bath fixtures, $8,000. Insurance year one, $700. Delivery extras and landscaping, $2,000. That brings you to approximately $52,200 at the low end, with land already owned or free. If everything goes smoothly, no mistakes, no code violations, no zoning curveballs, no mid-build surprises. A conservative, honest range for a typical 2026 Amazon tiny home build is $48,000 to $52,000 when land is already in hand. Factor in land purchase, and you are looking at $53,000 to $82,000 for a budget build. Mid-range with some professional help runs $65,000 to $90,000. According to 2026 data from Little Houses for Sale and Clever Tiny Homes, most real-world builds land between $39,000 and $87,000 when all costs are included. Full turnkey professional tiny homes run $70,000 to $150,000. This does not make tiny homes a bad idea. It just means the $15,000 tag is the entry ticket to a much bigger game. And now you know the real price of that game. So who does this actually make sense for? It makes sense if you already own land or have family land you can legally use under your local zoning rules. It makes sense if you have solid construction skills or can confidently manage a skilled team. It makes sense if you have researched your local zoning laws and know your structure will be legal, or if your state has passed 2026 step housing reforms that expand your placement options. It makes sense as a guest house, ADU, Airbnb unit, or backyard office where the full residential code requirements may not apply. And it absolutely makes sense if you go in with a realistic budget that includes all of these costs, not just the Amazon sticker price. It probably does not make sense if you have never completed a significant DIY project, or if you need a primary residence immediately with no room for construction delays, or if you skip the zoning research step. Many Amazon listings have no warranty, no code certification, and no customer service that can walk you through a building inspection. As one real estate expert put it, these are best for people who want extra office space, a backyard bedroom, or a serious DIY project, not necessarily a plug-and-play primary home. Look, the housing crisis in this country is real, and the desire to find a smarter, more affordable path is completely valid. That is exactly why this channel exists. Amazon tiny homes are not a scam, but the way they are marketed leaves out most of the story. And the people who get burned are the ones who fall in love with the $15,000 number and forget to ask what comes next. Now you know what comes next. Go in with open eyes, a real budget, a call to your local zoning office, and check whether your state has passed step housing reforms in 2026. Do that homework, and this could genuinely be one of the smartest housing decisions you ever make. If this video saved you even one costly mistake, smash that like button. It helps more people find this information before they need it. Subscribe if you're not already part of this community. And check out the video right up here where I break down the best legal tiny home builds under $50,000. Real builds, real numbers, real results. I will see you in the next one.